Call the meeting to order. All rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Wasn't that fast?
Yes.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
And to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. The agenda, there was additional items
In the town Dodie thing.
added to the agenda. One is the approval of the vast landowner permission form and entering into executive session to discuss personnel and the Pleasant Street property for Tom Dodie for the project that is going on there. Is there a motion to approve the agenda with these changes?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Agenda approved. Review of the minutes for July 25th, 2022 draft meeting minutes. Is there a motion to approve those minutes?
So moved.
Second? Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Minutes are approved. Any open public comment? No one else? Is anybody on? Oh, yeah.
Katie Futterman, who's from the Brandon Reporter.
No open public comment. Guests? No guests. Any good stuff? We had another concert last week. That was good. It was well attended, I think. We played, Lisa did some trivia game. Found out how unknowledgeable everyone is about the Marble Bridge, so that was a good thing. So, but it was good. So we have one more August 31st before the Fall Festival. That's our last one, so.
Be spraying tonight.
Wow.
There was a nice story on WCAX about the Holden family who purchased the Eaton farm that they call Valley Acres, and just a little bit about their transition from California here and why they happened to select Vermont, Proctor, Vermont. So I thought it highlighted Proctor in a very nice and positive manner, and they're a very nice family to have to our community as well.
That's great.
Yeah, I worked with her when she was putting that,
Oh, the shed?
the shed up, so, and they were really kind. So maybe it's something we can put to the website.
Yeah,
Maybe worth it, huh?
why not? Okay, Highway Department. Milling and paving to begin August 8th for Gibb, Taylor Hill, Bluff, and Florence Road.
Yep, pamphlets were passed out last week to residents, and our public works crews prepped the site by sweeping and roadside mowing. I spoke to Tim Rice today, and they plan to start tomorrow.
Marble Bridge upgrades.
The lamp bases will be returned in the next 2 weeks from being powder coated. The estimated cost I got for it's actually 8 pieces, but they're 4 in total, was between $600 and $800, which is better than I thought it was going to be.
Say it again?
$600 to $800 was the estimated cost.
Okay, the TAC report.
Bruce is the board representative, but I'll just go ahead and report that V-Trans introduced a framework for the Transportation Equity Initiative. Transportation equity looks at providing access for an individual's daily needs and quality of life. According to the presentation, transportation has been unequal in its distribution, application, benefits, and burdens. This has resulted in existing inequities that we experience today. If anyone wants to give feedback or has questions about the program, I have contact information for the program coordinators here on my desk. And that took up a bit of time, so we didn't do community reports.
Right, and had a chance to tried to be nice, but you know, this has been going on since we got left out of
of anything on this side of the state, and I tried to be nice when I made a comment about that.
Yeah. And
We are the forgotten
Yeah.
section of Vermont.
Yeah, and I think the big questions they were asking there is what the reason for that was. So we're gonna do some homework and get back with them next month, I believe.
Yeah.
Anything below South Burlington is forgotten.
Yeah.
Okay, South Street Sidewalk Project.
The project is out of NEPA review, and an updated schedule should be provided to us shortly. I did ask for like a really quick synopsis from our engineers, and they told us that the feedback we got from the state was that there are about 5 trees there we need to be careful to protect. And aside from that, they didn't see any serious environmental issues. So the project, we should just be able to keep rolling forward with it.
Right-of-way maintenance.
A letter's been sent out to a homeowner on Meadow Street to remove some newly planted shrubbery along the right-of-way. Mr. Corliss and I spoke to them about it once, about a month ago, so we've gone into the letter phase of the warnings. And Irving has provided us with a mowing schedule for the lot they own on the west side of town. And I rode by this morning, I didn't see a tractor there. Tomorrow was the second date that they had on there, so if I don't see the grass has been mowed by tomorrow, I'll send out an email and proceed from there.
And the Meadow Street hasn't been taken care of either.
I think I rode down there yesterday, didn't see that it was done.
I think when I went by, it was all still there.
Yeah, so, we're giving until the next select board meeting, and we're strategizing.
There's still a whole mess of fuel oil.
Right.
They tore the house down. They are supposed to-
Stationary radar sign installation.
And then Kyle Thornton, who is standing in as our public works foreman, has ordered a new post for the radar sign. It's got to be bigger than your normal post, and a dig ticket's been called in, so we're hoping it should be in here in the next couple weeks and corrected.
All right. Is there a motion to go out of the select board meeting and into the Board of Water Commissioners?
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Class B certification submittal for system operators?
So we need Class B operators to operate our water treatment plant, and I've submitted these certification applications for both Nick and Rob. I haven't heard anything back, but Vermont Rural Water Association didn't see anything wrong with the applications, so we should be covered, and we expedited the process by paying online and all that, so we should just be waiting for certificates in the mail.
That's good.
Yeah.
Gorham Bridge Road Water Project bid solicitation?
Yeah, this is the, we've been talking about this for a while, but I think we're all really motivated to get it done. So this is rerouting the services from the rear of the house to the front of the house. I've solicited 3 bids, and I should have them for you at our next meeting. There's a good bit of utilities crossing there, so we had to figure all out. There's a mini main that runs through the houses. There's a storm drain that runs through the houses. So we had to do some locating so that we could properly bid the project out.
Anybody have questions, anything? Right, is there a motion to go out of the Board of Water Commissioners and into the Board of Sewage Commissioners?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, motion carries. Provisional wastewater license.
So after my submittal, Rob has been awarded his provisional wastewater license. So this is kind of like a learner's permit for a wastewater operator, and he'll be eligible for the test in December. We've got Dan Protovansky helping us now, and we need him for the next 6 months. So right near the end of his term with us, everything goes right, it'll transition into Rob taking ownership over the plant.
So if he passes, it becomes effective immediately when he passes his?
Yes.
Okay.
They even said they tell them right after the test, so, you know, sometimes you
Okay.
take a test, you gotta wait a couple
Right.
days to find out. I think
Yeah.
it's pretty immediate.
Okay. Tell them to study.
I will.
Change order and pay apps for the Willow Street sewer.
Yeah, and this is an action item. Both Mr. Hogan and Mr. Boucher was at our construction meeting last week where this was introduced. Included in your packets is change order 1 for the Willow Street project. Scope of works includes adding 2 new manholes and rerouting 200 feet of 8-inch pipe away from going under the trailer on Meadow to going down North Street along the right-of-way to the intersection of Meadow.
Okay, so is there a motion to accept the updated project scope of the Willow Street Pump Station Sewer System Improvement Project and approve the change order 1 in the amount of $84,500?
So moved.
Is there a second? All in favor?
That project's
Motion
going
carries.
along nicely.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
And, you know, pretty neat.
Yeah.
They're doing a good job.
That's worth noting. I mean, they had no struggle getting through under the railroad.
That was amazing. I thought we'd spend a lot of money there.
Yeah, and then all the way up back to Tom Dodie's
Yes.
went well. So it was quite the process to see.
Quite a machine.
Oh, yeah.
And the operators seem very good.
It's a family business. So it's him and his daughter and his son out there operating
Yeah.
everything. It's kind of neat.
All right, is there a motion to go out of the Board of Sewage Commissioners and back to the Select Board meeting?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Managers report.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Most of my time over the last 2 weeks plus has been spent working with DPW, but I have been taking care of my managerial duties as well in-house. Interim zoning administrator, I don't have anything to add to that. We had one application that I worked on with a resident. The assistant town clerk treasurer search, we interviewed 4 candidates, and we're going to discuss this more in executive session. The pool report is included in your packet. And thanks for Lisa for helping out during the week while Gannon went on vacation. So that's a huge help. The compensation survey for VLCT salary report was completed. They actually made that process really easy on us because they worked with NIMRIC, which is our accounting software, to put in code to where we could just download our material straight off of there and send it to them. So that was helpful. Included in your packet is the 10K leaf chase facility use agreement with their certificate of insurance. We've issued our RFQs for engineering services that were approved at our last select board meeting. Advertisements were put into the reporter, and they were sent out to 4 or 5 engineering firms that have worked with the town in the past. Grandpa's Non-Community Wind Project. So it was announced in the Rutland Herald, but for those unaware, the project will not be moving forward. Website updates. I continuously add new information to the website, but a bigger change is that the sheriff has his own page under the government drop-down menu. His reports can be found there instead of the home page. The reason I did that is because when you're on the mobile app and you scroll down, you got to scroll down through all his reports before you get to the kind of town announcements. That kind of cleared that up a little bit.
I think it's a great idea.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Administrative training events. I attended an accounting training hosted by VLCT. I've included in your packets VR, the Vermont Rural Water Association letter of support. I did this due to the incredible help that they've given us.
That was a very nice letter.
Yep,
That was a great letter.
Wow. I mean, I cannot even go on enough about how helpful they've been. So,
That's great. Thank you for sending that.
yeah. And so the Planning Commission report, I invited Lyle Jepson and Tyler Richardson here from Cedar, which is the Chamber of Commerce in the Rutland region. I invited them to the Planning Commission meeting last week to discuss various economic development activities happening around the region. They pointed out that people are migrating to Vermont due to the results of climate change, but we lack here in Vermont market rate housing and child care services. So the Planning Commission supports applying the, and so moving on to a different topic, but same as the Planning Commission. Planning Commission supports applying for a park and ride grant to install spots, about 10 to 20, along the village green facing diagonally. So it wouldn't be a new parking lot, it would just be an extension of the road to fit cars diagonally. And before our next select board meeting, the plan is to have costs, have a rough sketch, and to present that to you before I submit the application to the state. And Bruce, I've done some quick math and looking. I think what we can do, instead of having it this far down where the memorial is, having it on, if we're looking at, like if I'm looking at it from here, having it on the right side. So the benefits of that is to pull people off of Route 3 to park here, to provide downtown parking, and then provide, a noticeable area parking for the village green.
I think that'd be a good idea if we're gonna pick up a little more parking. If something happens next door, there'd be additional parking.
How does that impact the road, though? I mean, wouldn't it be,
Well, it's a little early yet. We might have to push back the sidewalk a little bit, since we're doing diagonal.
Kind of like,
and
see.
that would all be covered?
well, I've spoken to Devon Neary, and they are funding projects that install new pavement for projects. So,
We'll find out.
Yes.
yeah, we'll find out. There's a match.
Of course there is.
Nobody wants parking meters, but
Kiosks, put kiosks.
Public-private partnership.
Oh, some charging stations too.
Yeah, they're not funded. But, and it does meet one of the goals in the, in our municipal plan, 2020 municipal.
Right.
So,
Okay.
okay, and then, so the 2023 Historic Preservation Grant, so submission of these grants is now available. I researched previously awarded projects and did see that a covered bridge was repaired once using these funds. So I'm thinking, since a bridge had been awarded, maybe our bridge will get awarded. And we still got to do that grout silicone sealant work along the railing. I'm hoping that will qualify. It's not a really intense application, so I'll just continue to try to get quotes for it. The problem I've had with finding a contractor is that some of the work might have to be done over the side, and that's what really raises the price.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, you're worried about this, they're worried about the material getting down into the water, so they've got to add extra protection for that. It's where I've been getting hung up on getting quotes. So, but I'm going to charge forward because the application's going to be due in October, so I'll just keep hunting for a number. And that concludes my manager's report.
Okay. All right, discussion and action items from the board. Everybody sign the bills
yes.
in the sheriff's report in your packet. Any questions or comments? All right. And then we need to elect a voting member for the VLCT annual meeting.
I move to appoint Bruce as our representative to the VTLC annual meeting.
I'll second that.
Okay, so there's a motion to appoint Bruce Boucher as a voting member for Proctor at the VLCT annual meeting. And a second? All in favor?
Aye.
All right,
Accept.
congratulations, Bruce.
Thank you, Bruce.
Thank you.
All right, appoint a zoning administrator.
I have met with Anthony Preston, and Anthony Preston is here, and he's met with the Planning Commission as well. He received a nomination from them. It was unanimous, and he has come here tonight to introduce himself to you all and answer any questions that you have, and is seeking appointment as the town's next zoning administrator.
Would you consider also being a health officer?
How much does it pay? What, $250?
I don't even know. I
$320?
haven't seen a check yet.
Not pushing,
Be prorated if you don't continue.
let's not push too hard.
Well, congratulations. Do you have any questions or comments? Does anybody have any questions? No? All right. Well, welcome.
Yes.
Thank you for doing that. It's great. Okay.
We have to,
Is there a motion to appoint Anthony Preston as the Town of Proctor's zoning administrator for a term of 3 years?
so moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, motion carries.
Thank you.
Thanks, Anthony.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, I'll be in touch, but we don't have anything active going on really, so we'll touch base here in the next couple weeks, and we'll get you some cards printed out and get you headed in the right direction. All right? Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, and we're going to add in now we need approval of the vast landowner permission form, which is for the Chittenden Dammers, for the property in Chittenden.
We didn't do that last meeting?
Well, this is a landowner permission form. It's different. It's something they've got to have to finalize the grant, and they said they thought they had it on the record, but they don't. So,
This isn't for the bridge, this is just to use our
Yeah.
lake.
Use the
Oh, okay,
property.
okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. All right.
aside from this, their grant was approved, so you know.
Oh, good.
So we just can sign this. We don't
That's
need a
it.
motion. Okay. Everybody okay with approving that? Okay.
Sure.
All right.
They've been using it for years.
Yes.
Before we go into executive session, there's a discussion for the Pleasant Street project for Tom Dodie's property.
Yeah, so I was
I will
just...
recuse myself from.
Yeah. I was assigned to work with Tom on this and negotiate with him. The start was, the project start was contingent upon signing a new easement, but there was already language on his existing deed saying that we had right-of-way, but that any kind of herbage that we destroyed, we would pay back. They're also doing a lot of work in his yard. The majority of the digging had to happen in his yard and then across his driveway. So, on top of this, Mr. Dodie worked with me along not only the construction phase, but the planning phase. We needed approval for a wetland permit that he had to sign off on, and approval of a stream alteration permit that he had to sign off on, which was all going through his property. So we've gone back and forth on what the reimbursement was, and in your packets here, I've given you today, because we worked it out kind of last minute over the weekend and then finalized it today. He gave me a total price for replacing the trees and delivery and the timber value, and that's where he got his total from, which was a bit high, about $18,000. What I was able to work out with him, and after kind of speaking with the state and then speaking with our engineers on how we could fold this into the project, normally what happened is the reimbursement's going to be based on timber value. So we base it on on the timber value, and then given the work that has had to been done in his yard and along the driveway, and all the help we've gotten from him to just keep moving through the project as fast as we had, we just extend the work that we're going to do in his driveway to pave the rest of it, and they think that'll come out to about $5,000, $6,000. So we're looking at $3,000 for the timber, and then an extra $5,000 to, or $6,000 to, and that's guesstimated, to finish the driveway, which our engineers feel like might already be included in the paving line item of the project, because their estimates were a bit conservative on how much driveway asphalt we would need.
Great, sounds good. Yeah, we certainly cut across this property.
So I guess what I would be looking for is a motion to award Tom Dodie the timber value of the trees, and to pave the remainder of his driveway extending past the scope of construction. Something along those lines.
So is there a motion?
A motion to approve the agreement that Michael and Tom have worked out.
Your second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
And then, as we said before, that project is,
Yeah.
you know, I look out the window at the bike path and I see nothing.
Yeah.
And I look at, you know, the Garden of Eden, and I just see this, everything going on, getting done, people happy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and one complaint I've gotten, and that was addressed within minutes, and that's all about, that's all.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so.
Okay. There's nothing else. Is there a motion to enter into executive session in accordance with 1 VSA 312B to discuss personnel matters?
So moved.
Your second? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Go into executive session.